I'd like to call to order the Ramsey County Board of Commissioners. Roll call, please.
Jebin Singh,
Here.
McGuire,
Here.
McMurtry,
Here.
Miller,
Here.
Moran.
Here.
Commissioner Zhang is excused, and Ortega.
Can we stand? Aye. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Land Acknowledgement, Commissioner McMurtry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Every community owes its existence and vitality to generations from around the world who contributed their hopes, dreams, and energy to making the history that led to this moment. Some were brought here against their will. Some were drawn to leave their distant homes in hope of a better life, and some have lived on this land since time immemorial. Truth and acknowledgement are critical to building mutual respect and connection across all barriers of heritage and difference. We are standing on the ancestral lands of the Dakota people. We want to acknowledge the Ojibwe, the Ho-Chunk, and the other nations of people who also call this place home. We pay respects to their elders, past and present. Please take a moment to consider the treaties made by the tribal nations that entitle non-Native people to live and work on traditional Native lands. Consider the many legacies of violence, displacement, migration, and settlement that bring us together here today. And please join us in uncovering such truths at any and all public events.
Thank you, Commissioner. Excuse me. We now have a proclamation for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Commissioner Jebin Singh. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at my emails that just came in. I'll entertain a motion on the agenda of October 14th, 2025.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
McMurtry,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Moran. Aye. Commissioner Zhang is excused. Jebin Singh,
Aye.
McGuire,
Aye.
and Ortega.
Aye. I'll entertain a motion on the minutes of October 7th, 2025.
So moved. Second.
See no discussion, roll call.
McMurtry,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Moran. Aye. Zhang is excused. Jebin Singh,
Aye.
McGuire,
Aye.
and Ortega.
Aye. Now we have a proclamation on National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Commissioner Jebin Singh.
And we welcome staff and community members to join us. Excellent. It's wonderful to see such a contingency for this. There's plenty of space. And as we're getting settled, there you go. All righty. Today I'm honored to present this proclamation recognizing October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Ramsey County. This month serves as an important reminder that domestic violence is not a private matter. It is a community issue that affects individuals and families across all backgrounds, neighborhoods, and walks of life. Here in Ramsey County, our advocates, law enforcement, and service providers see firsthand the deep trauma caused by domestic violence, physical, emotional, financial, and psychological. The impact extends far beyond individuals. It affects children, families, workplaces, and entire communities. We recognize the survivors who have shown incredible strength and resilience in the face of violence and fear. We also recognize the advocates, service providers, and first responders who work tirelessly every day to provide safety, support, and hope. Ramsey County is committed to ensuring that every resident can live free from violence and fear. Through our Emergency Communications Center new Call for All initiative, we are strengthening how we connect 911 callers experiencing domestic violence with compassionate and advocates and resources. Our Community Corrections and Attorney's Office continue to partner on trauma-informed responses and accountability measures, and our county continues to support survivor-centered services that create pathways to safety and healing. Ending domestic violence requires all of us, neighbors, employers, educators, faith leaders, and community members, to speak up, reach out, and support those in need. We can all play a role by learning the signs, offering compassion, and connecting survivors to help. Together, we can create a community where every person feels safe, valued, and supported. And now for the proclamation. And who will I be giving this? All righty. Whereas domestic violence is a pervasive public health and safety crisis that impacts individuals across all communities, regardless of age, race, gender identity, socioeconomic status, or background, with nearly 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men experiencing intimate partner violence in their lifetime. And whereas in Ramsey County alone, more than 9,500 domestic-related 911 calls were made in the past year, and the trauma of domestic violence extends beyond physical harm, affecting mental health, housing stability, economic security, and well-being of children and families. And whereas Ramsey County is committed to survivor-centered, trauma-informed, and culturally conscious approaches, advancing prevention and intervention through innovation, inclusive, and collaborative cross-departmental initiatives such as Call for All, Safe Support for All, which connects 911 callers and survivors with live advocates to holistically address personal and family needs. And whereas this month honors the trailblazing efforts of community-based advocates who established the nation's first shelter, developed national models to reduce domestic violence and homicides, and championed culturally relevant responses alongside the tireless work of advocacy organizations, shelters, healthcare providers, legal services, and culturally specific agencies. And whereas Ramsey County recognizes the resilience and strength of survivors, affirm the dedication of community partners, and join the nation in observing October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month, a call to action to educate, prevent, and foster safe, healthy, and respectful relationships. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed, the Ramsey County Board of Commissioners thereby declares October 2025 as National Domestic Violence Awareness Month in Ramsey County, and urges all residents to stand in solidarity with survivors, support prevention efforts, and engage in building a community where all needs are met.
Say a few words. Good morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners, and County Manager. My name is Natalie Simonette, and I work at the Emergency Communications Center as an admin planning assistant. Thank you for having us. Well, I'm honored to stand here before you all. I'm even more honored to be here with members of the Call for All Task Force family. These gracious community members and partners have dedicated the past 18 plus months to this work, sharing their time, wisdom, and energy, even on nights when they may have felt they had little left to give. Together, we have co-created and are thrilled to share that beginning next month, the Emergency Communications Center will implement a new process required for all 911 call takers to offer the resource and send an outbound text message with a link to our website. From there, victims and survivors have autonomy over the services they receive with an advocacy organization that fits their needs, in addition to the traditional 911 response. Recognizing that not everyone feels safe calling 911, we also intend for this resource to be utilized outside of the 911 system. Domestic violence is an issue that crosses county departments, even service teams here at Ramsey. We're so grateful for the Ramsey County public health leaders that have graciously made space for us and partnered with us for this 911 dispatch initiative. This has truly allowed us to rethink how residents are served, responding to their issue or their needs, rather than our department's jurisdictions. In closing, I want to add that we are so blessed to have had Director Pass's continuous support throughout this entire journey, as I believe the original assignment I received was to go forth and do great things. Where are you? Thank you. With that, I will humbly ask all the Call for All family members and support people here to introduce themselves. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and members of the Commission. I am Roxy Walker, and I work with Women's Advocates, the first domestic violence shelter in the nation. And it is an honor to be here before you all, and it's the greatest honor is to work with the people who are standing behind me, who invited me to collaborate along with them to make sure that victims of domestic violence have that needed support, and to have those who are in tune, not just with our own personal needs, but those who are more in need when it relates to domestic violence. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, good morning. My name is Ray Black, and I am a shelter community manager for Tubman, also a survivor. And I am very grateful to be here, as I've been here from birth, conception of the project until the live project. And it has been a great experience to be able to be the voice of those we serve and bring all of the different entities to the table, and also growing with everyone. And now we get to see the outcome. So thank you for being here and listening.
Good morning. My name is Tara Lewis. I'm an enrolled member of the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska. I do event security for what I consider my main job, but I've been an advocate for many years. I am the chair of the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition Board and the co-chair of the Women's Environmental Institute organization, and I do a lot of advocating for Native American women, children, and now just expanding to all women and children and stuff. I realize, how important it is to be a voice for people who don't have a voice and stuff. And this work that we've been doing, it's been a really good experience, and I'm looking forward to also what Ray said, the outcome of, how this is gonna help the survivors and the victims, because, sometimes they don't know that they are a victim, or a survivor. They don't know the actual meaning of that. So thank you for this.
Thank you.
My name is Maria Meyer. I'm the supervising attorney up at St. Paul Intervention Project, better known as SPIP. We have some other SPIPers here with us today as well. And in addition to working at an organization who serves victims and their children, I'm also a community member, so I live in St. Paul, I work in St. Paul, and I own a business in St. Paul. And to be part of a team that brought community together with all of these sister organizations, as well as the different parts of Ramsey County's programs, I just thought it was a really moving thing to see, and have the community members be such a big, active part of it. So,
thank you.
Good morning. I'm Shelley Klein. I'm the director of SPIP, and I'm proud to stand here with all these community members and the programs that are out there providing 24-hour services to victims of domestic violence. Another collaborative initiative is how we're going to stop domestic violence, working together and bringing our own expertise to the table, which we did with this. And I want to thank the commissioners who have always, always stood up for victims of domestic violence. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Abby Lane, and I'm the Community Services Director at Northeast Youth and Family Services, or NYFS, and we provide advocacy and therapy services for victim survivors. And like everybody has said, we're honored to be a part of this collaborative effort. We feel that just making sure that victim survivors have access to resources so that they can make choices about how to create safety for themselves is the huge first step in how we can work towards ending domestic violence. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Shar Webby from Emergency Communications. It's just been my pleasure to partner alongside Natalie, and I just want to shout out her dedication and passion for this project is why we're all standing here today. So amazing, along with all of the advocates that are here with us. It's been an amazing thing to watch unfold.
Hello everyone, I'm Brenda Avila. I am Natalie's partner. Happy to be here, and just like everybody else said, the passion and commitment that has been from the beginning and want better for the community has been huge. And I'm happy to have been able to calm Natalie's nerves and her many brrrs that she does, but she's done an amazing job.
Good morning, everyone. Gloria Reyes, Deputy County Manager for the Safety and Justice Service Team. What an amazing, collaborative, innovative effort. We know that when people call 911 for help, particularly in domestic violence cases, we need to be able to help them at that moment in time in crisis. And so congratulations to all, and thank you for thinking about the community when implementing this. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. I'll just say the great work that this team behind us are doing is just amazing. We know that, when you call 911, the first thing is not law enforcement, like the response. There's so much behind it, and information where you can get more services at your hand and put that in the hands of the residents is something that I think will be great. Grateful to be here. Grateful to be in a county where we're looking at things from a different perspective and a holistic approach of really looking at how we can assist people. It's amazing, and what a group of people here that are doing such great work. So I'm just grateful to be a part of, and I thank you all for the great service that you're doing. So thank you so much.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Jen Paulzine, and it's my honor to serve as the CEO at Tubman. I just want to say thank you for your incredible leadership and for standing alongside survivors and all of these leaders behind me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, good morning. How's everybody doing? My name is Raj. I have been involved with this group for a minute, and it has been wonderful. They all pick on me, right? But that's all right. They were friendly, and they're picking. And often Shar forgets that I am a vegetarian, so no, I forget. But I want to thank this group of amazing people who got together to create an appropriate response to what seemed like an intractable problem in our community. And I get to teach the crisis intervention strategies class at Metro State, and we're thinking about how do we create more appropriate responses as opposed to just traditional responses going to the doors. So I'm really appreciative of how we continue to integrate this process into our plethora of responses that the county offers. Appreciate it. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm kind of nervous, it's my first time here. But my name is Shua. I'm from Transforming Generations. I'm a sexual assault advocate there. But I've been working at domestic violence for 16 plus years. And we work with the Hmong and Southeast Asian communities that are experiencing domestic violence and sexual assault. And I thank you bottom of my heart, thank you so much for, for us to be here. And I love working with them, this collaboration of all the sisters and organizations and brothers. And so it's my gratitude, and thank you so much for having us recognized for Domestic Violence Month.
Yeah, the rest of the group would not want to come up, which is okay, right? My name is Nancy Pass. I'm the director at the Emergency Communications Center. Thank you for taking time today to recognize this initiative in Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Thank you.
And I just want to add one more thing, which is the county really talks about being a good partner in community, bringing collaboration together, and this idea of really co-creating what programs are most responsive to our community. And I cannot think of any better representation of what I'm seeing right here, to see so many people from community working hand in hand on this initiative. And I hope that this continues to inspire greater work throughout all of our county programs to work with community and providers and partners. So thank you all so much. Thank you.
Yeah, find your window and then try to go in between.
I'm sure. Make sure you get in here. If you can see the camera, she can see it. We know we're from
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna take a couple. So 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Actually, that's a great picture. All the faces, diversity.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Administrative agenda, Commissioner McNulty.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move the following items. Number 4, donation from the Minnesota State Fair to the Social Services Department. Number 5, certification of property assessed clean energy charges for energy improvements. Number 6, Minnesota Family Investment Program Biennial Service Agreement for 2026-2027. Number 7, Restore 2024 Information Technology Projects Appropriation. Number 8, Minnesota Paid Leave Implementation. And number 9, Settlement Agreement in John and Amy Waters versus Ramsey County et al., court file number 62 CV 234037.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
McMurtry?
Aye.
Miller?
Aye.
Moran? Aye. Zhang is excused. Jebin Singh?
Aye.
McGuire?
Aye.
And Ortega.
Aye. We have item number 10, 2026 Capital Improvement Program Bond Ordinance, waiving the first reading and setting a public hearing date that will be for November 4th, 2025 at 9 a.m.
So move, or do you need a second?
Second.
So move.
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
McMurtry?
Aye.
Miller?
Aye.
Moran? Aye. Zhang is excused. Jebin Singh?
Aye.
McGuire?
Aye.
and Ortega.
Aye. County Connections?
All right, good morning. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a few things today. So today, Microsoft officially ends their support of the Windows 10 operating system. So a deadline that has created significant challenges, as you can imagine, for organizations around the world. I am really proud to announce that thanks to a very proactive and collaborative effort, our Information Services Department has successfully upgraded 97% of all our county computers to Windows 11. And this is a great testament of the One Ramsey County work ethic that we are espousing. The success was possible because the business users, IS, capability teams, tech contacts in every department, including partners in areas such as the library, the sheriff's office, corrections, all came together to do this work. So to put this into perspective, many organizations do have more resources and staff. They have not progressed as far in this migration journey. Because of our team's incredible work, we are better able to secure our network and systems with this upgrade as well. And so this is a good stewardship of taxpayer dollars as well, avoiding significant costs of purchasing extended security support from Microsoft for those who don't meet the deadline. So I wanted to give you that update and shout out all those folks. I know we do a lot of proclamations here at the board, and this month we're not having this come official as a proclamation, but I did want to highlight October being a significant month for manufacturing in our community as we talk about economic growth and investment. Manufacturing contributes over $57 billion to the Minnesota economy, and it represents 12% of the state's domestic product. The average wages in manufacturing in Minnesota pay an average annual wage of $79,000, but in Ramsey County, they pay actually an average wage of $95,000. That's 10% higher than the state's average. We have over 650 manufacturing firms in Ramsey County and more than 29,000 people that work in them. So I know, with our work up at Rice Creek Commons, we are adding manufacturing jobs, and so just wanted to highlight that. There's a really great website on our county webpage, or great webpage on our county's website about Manufacturing Month, and there's some really cool tours that the public can take advantage of as part of that this month. One of which is of International Paper, which is up in our northern metro. It's a really great opportunity to go and see how the internal functioning of that manufacturing company works. It'd be a great visit to bring teenagers. 16 and up can go on that tour. You can just sign up on our website. There's a couple of tours. Also, there's a set of tours being set up through the Port Authority in Ramsey County to go visit Summit Brewing, Harris companies, as well as the National Checking Company in St. Paul. So lots of work happening with our Workforce Development Department and Community and Economic Development, and just wanted to highlight manufacturing in Ramsey County. Last, I'd like to just give an update on the federal shutdown. We are in week 3 of the federal shutdown. Today is day 14, the start of day 14. There's no end in sight. As you know, while essential and mandatory programs continue, there are administrative slowdowns, delay in reimbursements, and interruptions to discretionary programs that can often affect vulnerable households, local providers, and county operations. Some of the programs we continue to monitor include SNAP, Head Start, Early Childhood, our temporary assistance for needy families, which would be that Minnesota Family Investment Program, SAMHSA activities through our Social Services Department, our emergency management work through FEMA, as well as Medicare and Medicaid assistance. Our government relations and other leaders in the county continue to reach out to state partners to learn about more of their plans. One area we've been watching particularly closely is WIC. It's been widely reported that disruptions to WIC could occur if the federal shutdown continues to drag on. The Department of Health has notified that the county that Minnesota has WIC funds to continue serving through the end of October through their drawdowns. So Ramsey County WIC services continue to be uninterrupted. However, the Public Health Department and our Health and Wellness Service team are working with
our frat team to proactively determine how the county would respond in the scenario where Minnesota's WIC funding is exhausted before the federal shutdown is complete. So there's some impacts there potentially that we are trying to plan some scenarios for. I thought these statistics were kind of interesting. As of earlier this year, there are actually almost 17,000 federal employees in Minnesota. And so we can assume about 20 or 30% of the civilian workforce, federal civilian workforce, actually reside in Ramsey County, which could mean about 4,000 or so residents are either furloughed or having some delay pay, as well as Ramsey County residents. So that's my update, and happy to take any questions if you have them.
Thank you. Seeing no questions, let's begin with Mary Jo.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a number of things have been going on. A little bit ago, I didn't report on it, but the Active Living Ramsey Communities met. We did a hybrid meeting. It was great. We did it at our library in Roseville, and we had, half the people in the room and half the people online, and it worked out really well. And we we presented on bike and walk audits that anyone can do in their community. We do that in conjunction with AARP, and that's exciting, so anyone can do that. We were introduced to our Public Works Senior Transportation Planners. We have two new ones, Cody Leisman and Amy Barnstorff, so that was exciting to get their stories. And we're planning for our Ramsey County 20th anniversary celebration on November 17th. And we also heard from the Metropolitan Council Regional Bicycle Transportation Network, the proposed changes, and the Met Council plans for the regional bike network. So it was a great meeting. And we also, the Roseville Fire Department, shout out to them, had a senior resource fair, which was well attended. It was at their fire station, and Julia Wolf, our Healthy Aging Director, brought handouts, and this is where they learned ways to protect your health, your home, and much more at the Senior Resource Fair. So shout out to them for doing that. Also, we had, on Tuesday, the State of the Friends Ramsey County Libraries had an event last Tuesday on bringing together community to get the information on behind the scenes from the Ramsey County Library System. Also, the Roseville Area Schools local government meeting was held, and I love this meeting. It's where the superintendent calls together all the city officials, the county officials, the legislative state officials, and they talk about what's going on in the school district. And I always say that I want all my districts to do this meeting. So kudos to Jenny Lake, who's the superintendent, who called that meeting together. Also, the Ramsey County League of Local Governments had their collective action work group, and they had a presentation on chloride pollution that's happening in our county and what they can do about it. It was a great presentation. Also, the League of Local Governments had their monthly meeting on Friday, which was Crisis to Clarity, Cyber Takeaways from the St. Paul Attack. So that was our Director of Technology, Chayton Condry from Ramsey County, helped present on that to talk about how that affects people. Then also Do Good Roseville had their 10th year anniversary on their community impact celebration. This is an amazing organization that does work throughout the community, has many partners, and they celebrated their 10-year anniversary. So that was very exciting. And I was fortunate to go to the Large Urban County Caucus, where I encourage all of us to learn from the things that Milwaukee's doing. They have a public market, which is a vibrant hub of local entrepreneurship and one of the most successful public markets in the Midwest. And they just bring in lots of different eating establishments and retail, and it's a great public market, and I think we should look at doing that somewhere in Ramsey County. And then we also I had a great tour of their South Shore Park, which is the intersection of public space, community wellness, and local economic development along their waterfront. So it was really exciting to see the work that they're doing there, and I'm hoping that we can bring even more of those ideas to what we're doing. We had many breakout sessions about technology for connection and advancing solutions at the intersection of homelessness and behavioral health, so a lot on that, and building and reimagining urban infrastructure and strengthening federal partnerships. We also, because these are issues that we're all dealing with, we heard about how they have one of the most significant examples of intergovernmental and public-private partnerships in their Brewer Stadium, in their professional ball stadium. It's a regional sales tax spanning 5 counties, sustained by team and corporate investment, shared community and economic goals. I thought it's a great model that we should help with all of our professional teams that are looking for our support in their work. So it was, and a lot on data. A lot on how we think, how we get data now and how we use data and how we need to make sure that our data is correct. So anyway, it was a great meeting, and I learned a lot about that I'll continue to bring to the work that we do here. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Jebinson.
Yes. Well, I have to go back just a little bit because I was traveling last week, but I just want to say thank you to all of our partners in the trades and our labor organizations that help with the project Heat is On. And also just to remind people that, so I have the honor of sitting on the CAPRW Board of Directors, and they were the organization who partners with this event to refer homes that could benefit from these heat upgrades to make sure that they're energy efficient. And just to remind people as we're heading into the winter that if you are somebody who needs energy assistance, that you can find information to apply for that at the CAPRW website. And also to say that the partnership work continues. We were able to hold another all hands on deck, the cross-sharing group discussion to make sure that as we are facing the challenges that are happening within the federal and state cost shift and policy changes, that we are collaborating and communicating and listening to our provider networks throughout Ramsey County so that we can be working together to meeting our residents' needs. And that work continues. I had the joy of going back to the White Bear Lake area schools. My colleague, John Anderson, if there is not a Minnesota bred and raised and stayed White Bear kid, it's John Anderson. He went to the high school there. He played hockey there. He played for the Minnesota Gophers on their national championship team and then committed himself to his full career at the White Bear Lake area schools, community education, and taking care of the beloved Hippodrome and many other things. And when I stepped into Northeast Youth and Family Services role during COVID, he stepped in and oversaw all of the senior services and coordinated with Ramsey County and other organizations to do food drives and other kind of things throughout the Northeast Metro. So he is retiring. So October 2nd was John Anderson Day in Ramsey County. It's nice to be able to see folks who give back to community, who really are emblematic of the places where they live. So that was fun. I had a chance to do the introduction at the Landmark Plays, Not in My Neighborhood, which brought up the continuing, the history of redlining and intimidation that happened in our neighborhoods when there was resistance to all communities being able to live wherever they could afford to buy a house and to raise their families. And it's always important for us to remember that to look back at our history reminds us of how we got to where we are today and the deep work systemically and at policy and resource allocation that still is needed to rectify some of those issues in the past. I was able to attend the Solid Ground Gala in our area. Solid Ground provides low-income and bridge housing to families who are moving into more stable housing. And that is an organization that has worked in the Northeast Metro for a long time and has been a community partner. So lovely to see the work that they're doing. The Venice Heights Lion Club had their waffle breakfast at the Venice Heights Commons. And the important thing there too is to see the Venice Heights Green Team and other folks who are making that entire event compostable and showing how even large-scale events are a chance to make sure that we're doing our part to make sure that we're taking care of our trash, and also a wonderful time of education for all of those people and families going through to realize what they can do in their own homes. I was able to attend the Clean Water Action Brunch for Better and learning about a lot of the different work that is going on, especially in I think in all of our districts, but I'm quite aware in the north area suburbs, there's a lot of discussion about water use, how that impacts development and what that does as far as making good choices as far as how we do any kind of economic development and choices that we're having there, and to making sure that we're protecting our water as we move forward with different changes in policy and EPA and funding and all that's going on in the swirl these days. Water is life, we cannot deny that. And then I was able to attend the NAMI walk. This was a couple weeks ago, and I have to say how moving it is to stand with individuals living with mental illness, their families, their caregivers, and to remember those who are no longer with us, and to walk by the river. It was a beautiful day, and to recognize the good work. I believe this is the week, and this may even be the day that Director Sue Abder-Holden is retiring, so it was wonderful to have her there one last time in her official capacity. I was able to attend Northeast Youth and Family Services Pause for Purpose this weekend. They had therapy dogs at the park in Shoreview, and also just to remind folks that they have done a lot of work at recruiting and having a full, robust staff and therapists, so they have actual openings. We can't always say that. A lot of times families, especially families and looking for therapy for their children and for getting mental health help and supports, is oftentimes we have had a lot of long wait lines. They have openings, and so I just want to get that out there again. They have openings. So if you ever are wondering if this is something that you or your loved ones needs, if you're even asking the questions, it's worth making the phone call and exploring if maybe sitting down and talking to somebody and getting the help is appropriate. I was able to also attend the Do Good Roseville event, and I have to say I have a special place. So I raised my family in Roseville, and Kathy Ramett and the other folks who are part of that were inspiration for me when I was working in White Bear. We had the many faces of White Bear, and Kathy and I were often sharing notes and stealing good ideas from each other, and it was wonderful to be there for that celebration. And then I'll just say, there are no enough words. I was with my colleagues this last week at the Burns Institute trip in Montgomery and Selma to look at our past history, our country's history, as far as the different concerns, specifically a lot about the threats of terrorism, death, and lynchings, and the impact that had in the freedom, mobility, and humanity of our nation's people over the years, and the impact that continues to have in our justice system. And we were there as colleagues from our Youth Justice Transformation Group. That meant we had people from the courts, from social services, from public health, from law enforcement, from the county, all aspects of folks who are working on our youth justice transformational work. And it is personally moving. It collectively created learnings, and I will say personally my most inspiring time was walking across the bridge in Selma and realizing how many other activists and other people who just put motion to their words and really change things. But it was in the bus ride back when I saw that collaborative team of cross-sectionally people from all aspects of the county. They had their phones out, they were collaborating, they were looking up legislation, they were looking up different things. They had ideas popping on how we could move this work forward even faster, driven by the urgency of realizing just the impact of policies in the past. So I look forward to that trip inspiring that work going forward. I appreciate the opportunity that the county provided for us to collectively have that. Those 2 days probably catapulted that work forward months, if not years, because it catalyzed that sense of urgency with the team of people working. So, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Moultrie?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. A couple of recent events that I've attended that I want to highlight. One being last Wednesday, I had an opportunity to speak to some of our newest Ramsey County employees, just to officially welcome them to Ramsey County and to speak to just the impact that they're going to have on our communities. And so it was great just to see the energy, feel the energy in the room, and to hear everyone express how excited they were to start working for Ramsey County and to get to work on behalf of the residents of Ramsey County. Also, last Wednesday, I had a chance to attend the City of St. Paul's 50th anniversary of district councils. So for St. Paul, we have a number of community councils that play a tremendous role in providing, coordinating activities and providing updates to community members. And I know that I have, especially in this role, utilized the work of our district councils to connect with residents throughout my district. And so it was just a great chance to celebrate the 50 years of the work that they've been doing and to acknowledge the tremendous impact that these district councils have on keeping members of the public engaged in what's not only happening in the community, but also civically what's going on and how they can get involved. Last Friday, I attended the AMC board meeting where we got a number of things accomplished. First, we approved the 2026 AMC budget, which was based on the dues that were approved by the board back in June. We also had more discussions around refining the 2026 to 2028 strategic plan for AMC, which there will be more conversations to come around that, and we have a goal of officially approving that strategic plan in January. We also approved a proposal for a new membership database with AMC, which should make things run a little bit more smoothly and more efficient for the staff at AMC. We also were able to review some of the proposed legislative priorities that members will discuss and vote on during their district meetings. I know that our district meeting is coming up pretty soon for District 10, but it was great just to get a chance to hear directly from Mac Hilgart and the legislative team on some of the priorities that are being discussed across the state. And then a couple other things we discussed at the meeting is that staff provided an overview of a new training program, Nuts, Bolts, and Boardrooms, which is focused on essentially technical topics for county commissioners. And so if that's something that you're interested in, we can definitely provide you with the information for where to sign up to be a part of that new training program. And then, of course, we have our annual AMC conference, which will be coming up in December 8th through the 10th in Bloomington. So very, very productive meeting. And then a couple other things I wanted to highlight. One, yesterday I had a chance to speak at the National Association of Retired and Veteran Railroad Employees. They invited me to come to speak to their group in Roseville, just to share a little bit about what's happening at the county. Most of the conversation was around the budget, so I really just previewed that with them and answered a number of questions that they had, not only around the budget, but just how the county operates as a whole. So it was great, and thanks again to John Filter, who's a constituent of mine, for inviting me out to speak to this group. Also yesterday at the Extension Committee meeting, we had a chance to honor the 2026 Family Farm of the Year, which was awarded to Pilgrim Baptist Church and their community garden that they have created. They're doing just amazing work with community and providing this space for healing, a space for nutrition, a space to address, climate challenges. So it was awesome to meet with one of the organizers, Nate Galloway, as well as Pastor Gill of Pilgrim Baptist Church, to hear more about this community garden and just the tremendous impact they're seeing on their community with having this space. And I will finish up with For this weekend, this Saturday, we are hosting a Reopen Rice. It is a celebration of the end of Phase 1 on Rice Street. So it'll be from 11 until 3 p.m. at the Rice and Arlington baseball field parking lot. Just an opportunity for a community to get out to see the end of the first phase of the Rice Street reconstruction, and also to get an opportunity for those who are further down Rice Street, who will be getting this work in Phase 2 and Phase 3, to see just the work that's going to be coming their way, and to get more information about those phases. And so, if you are available, please do come out. It's going to be great just to see the work that our Public Works team has been doing. Like I said, this has been years in the making, and I've had a chance to meet with a number of community members who have been appreciative of our efforts to continue to keep them engaged throughout the entire construction process. I'm sure there are also a number of learnings and takeaways as we get ready for Phase 2 and Phase 3 that we can take away from this first phase. So just excited to celebrate the end of this one and anticipation for the other 2 phases. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner McMurphy. Commissioner Miller?
Yes, so I also attended the Roseville local government meeting last Friday with my kids in tow because it was 7:30 in the morning. I just want to update that they did their what they updated us on was their capital project levy that they have out to community for voting for safety and technology and district updates. So if this is approved, it would provide a dedicated source of funding to update school security, also while ensuring access to technology tools that are essential for learning and teaching in today's digital world. On Wednesday, I also attended the MESB, the Metropolitan Emergency Services Board meeting. The meeting was specifically for lobby firm selection. We had a second round of interviews. I'm happy to report that we did make a decision, come to an agreement. I will wait to share the firm just until I know MSB is done doing their thing. We also attended NACO's EELU meeting, committee meeting. They talked about Operation Greenlight, the presentation, and then also, again, on data centers and power demand. So it was a very informative meeting about data centers. So that was there. And then I want to note, yesterday was Indigenous Peoples Day. I had the honor of joining Commissioner Zhang, and Commissioner Jebin Singh came later on, and community members to present Ramsey County's Indigenous Peoples Day proclamation at the American Indian Magnet School. It was a meaningful reminder to honor the history, the strength, and the ongoing contributions of our Native communities. I also want to do a big thank you to Ramsey County departments that were there tabling, which came out in full force. We had Workforce Solutions, Financial Assistance Services, Veteran Services, CED, Social Services, Public Works, the Sheriff's Office, and Parks and Recs were even having archery for kids. So I just want to say it's always wonderful to see our Ramsey County departments when you're out in community at events. I walked up to the CED table like, hey, you want to buy a house? We have a down payment assistance program. I was like, hey, that's awesome. Thanks for doing that. But I got a house. So it was pretty cool. And a special shout out to Nicole Bean, St. Sice, and Aronica Jackson for being on the planning committee and help plan such a beautiful event. It was truly a great day, and the weather was perfect, and just a good day to celebrate and be in community. I just have a couple upcoming events I'll quickly touch on. We have the Vadnais Heights EDC Partners for Good meeting with Commissioner Jebin Singh and County Manager Becker. I will be traveling to Duluth on Thursday for an AMC meeting with the tribal leaders and other county commissioners, and then the Clues Gala on Friday. With that, meet you. Thank you.
All right, thank you. It's been a little while since I've been here, so I have a few things to check in on, but I will open up with the trip to with the Burn Institute with my colleagues and Commissioner Jefferson, myself, and Commissioner Zong, along with an abundance of folks from Ramsey County. And for me, that was the most important part of just being in relationship and community with the staff and other service department leaders here from Ramsey County. But it was really a reminder that the laws, policies, and practice of yesterday continues to impact our lives even today, and to look at that journey and how we can become a better, stronger county that is looking at how we do the work that we do, and really looking at it through a more of a collective lens process with service delivery departments and judges and our county's attorney's office and just the DCMs. I would say it was just a very impactful a couple of days, but well worth the trip. I have a few things here. It's a great reminder that there is so much going on in the state of Minnesota. Over the last couple of weeks, I have attended a few galas and fundraisers, and I'm going to open up with Fresh Energy, who had a breakfast fundraiser. And for those who don't know, Fresh Energy works to design, influence, and implement equitable policies to continue advancing a carbon neutral economy in Minnesota and the Midwest. So that is the work that they do. They focus on the progress that is already happening in our backyard, what opportunities lies ahead, and how Minnesota can continue to lead the way, which we are so often leaving the ways in these areas. They had a panelist of 3 experts in the field who really had a great conversation about what's next for climate and energy and how we can all take action to keep the momentum going forward. So great breakfast and just learning so much more about how we can continue in that direction with the possibilities of threats to not invest from the federal government to not invest in this area anymore. I had an opportunity to meet with a young man, Joe Munich, from Generation Next. I met Joe. He is part of the Eagle Lab. It's a group that meets with the leadership and the president of Eagle Lab to look at homelessness and all the issues that is impacting the downtown area. And Joe is from Generation Next, so one of the things I do is one-to-ones. And so I was like, what do Generation Next do? I need to do a one-to-one. And so also Joe Munich is also is part of the Promised Neighborhood, which is one of my outside committees I'm a part of. But Generation Next mission is to harness the community knowledge, expertise, and action to ensure that every child can thrive. They envision a future in which every child has the academic, social, and emotional skills to thrive in a global, fluent world. They support and expand the most effective educational practices. They work to influence public policy changes to bring about positive educational outcomes, and they maximize resources and focus on funding on the strongest educational strategies. And so, nice meeting with you, Joe, and glad we was able to make that happen and learn a little bit more about what's happening around Generation Next. I had an opportunity to attend another fundraising with a new organization called, it was really a launch party. The organization, this is a nonprofit, is called Keeping Families Connected. The Minnesota founder is Keeping Families Connected Minnesota. This is the founder is Joanne Woodman, who is the founder and the executive director. I met Joanna Woodman back many years ago, who is an attorney who works to support families who are in the child protection system to really help them, right? Because so often when families are put into the child welfare system, they show up with no help and no support, and definitely they do not have an attorney. So this is the work that they do to really help keep families connected. They provide family separation through interdisciplinary legal services and equity-based child welfare policy reform. I think, as we look at the African American Family Preservation and Child Welfare Disproportionality Act, this is so needed at this moment as we're looking at how we keep families connected and how we can support family. It was a great gala. It was a great launch, should I say, with many people from different sectors showing up and supporting the work of keeping families connected. I attended another gala for Bridging. Bridging is an organization that works with families who are facing challenges of finding affordable housing, employment, education, and health care. Often these parents who are struggling, individuals who are struggling with finding housing after being homeless, have limited resources to furnish their own home when they do find housing. So what Bridging does is relieve the pressures to purchase furnishing. Bridging service provides families a comfortable home and allows them to focus on other critical matters in their lives. So they furnish the homes for them, all free, with donated. The families get to come into Bridges warehouse and pick out items that they want and need. Everyone who receives furniture from Bridging is referred by a human service provider, healthcare agency, or faith-based organization. And I want you to know that Ramsey County has a strong relationship with Bridging. So it's really good to see that connection, that relationship happening. I also attended Hallie Q. Brown, who hosted their fundraiser. A little bit about Hallie Q. Brown. The mission of Hallie Q. Brown Community Center is to improve the quality of life in the Rondo community by providing access to critical human services, fostering, promoting personal growth, and developing community leadership. Under the new leadership of their executive director, Benny Roberts, he has really created, he's young, he's inspiring, he's doing the work. A young fellow about 39 years old. That is really transformation, the work that has been done at Hallie Q. Brown. He is inspiring, he's forward thinking, his vision is forward thinking. And, you know, at the fundraiser, he really created a new narrative, I think, for so many who have looked at the Rondo community that was displaced by I-94. And usually we talk about the displacement and the harm that was done. But from his own words, to say, when we just create that narrative, it is a narrative as if there is no more. And so his message was about, out of that came all these absolutely wonderful individuals who are doing really, really great work today that leads to a more inspiring tomorrow for so many in St. Paul. Also, I would like to just note that Hallie Q. Brown will also be the temporary location of the Rondo Library as the Rondo Library goes through some reconstruction of the current space. And so I just want to share a little bit for those who are who have questions about the Rondo community. I don't know if you guys remember, though, when I first came a county commissioner, I was a little bit set back to learn that I had no county libraries in my district. I've gotten over that. And just adopted the Rondo Library that is in my community, that is, you know, on my block. It is where my family lives. It is where we are very much connected to the Rondo Library. But I want to share a little bit about the Rondo Library and what's happening there. So we've all heard that the Rondo Library will close temporarily by the end of 2025 for interior renovation. The Rondo Community Library is the busiest library in the city of St. Paul, with 250,000 visitors in 2024 and 30,000 visiting in September of 2025 alone. And it's time to make those improvements to the interior of the building. And as you know, I have been a really strong advocate with what we were seeing happening on University and Dale, which is across the street from the Rondo Library, and the impact of those who are suffering from homelessness and mental health and the fentanyl, and the impact that's having on communities, and of course the Rondo Library. Because when people come to a library and want to come to a library, they want to feel safe and they want to have access. And so, but it is one of the busiest library in the state of Minnesota. So while the library permanent location at 461 Dale Street is temporarily closed for renovation, library services will continue to be offered to the community at Hallie Q. Brown Community Center. And they are pleased to be able to offer temporary service at Hallie Q. Brown Community Center, which is a historical organization and space in the heart of the Rondo community. So the timeline is, right now, they expect the Rondo Community Library to be closed in late 2025. They will announce the exact date later this month. They will be really intentional to put up signage at the Rondo Library that will redirect people to a website and the location of the temporary location at Hallie Q. Brown. And this was a big issue for community because to have one of the busiest libraries on the corner of University and Dale, and to hear that they was going to close temporarily, there was lots of concerns because there's a huge amount of activities that happens within the library, such as, reading together. They have homework centers and open labs. Additionally, there's public computers in a community like Rondo. Often families cannot afford Wi-Fi and access to Wi-Fi, so they can come to the library to utilize the computers there and really have access to work and housing and other needs for those families. But there's also library materials and study rooms, and along with mental health professionals who from Ramsey County who have also utilized that space. And so I'm thrilled to be able to share that information with members of the community to know that a public library and access to all that they provide will still be available over the next year as the renovations happen within the Rondo Library. And that is it for me.
Thank you, Commissioner. I was just about to say, I served on the board of Generation Next for a few years when it was first, maybe 12, 13 years ago when it was first put together. And we always had somebody representing the East Metro St. Paul, Ramsey, and I'm wondering who's on the board now because it tends to be, are you on the board? Okay, great.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure that we had to, it's a great organization.
Yeah, it was good for me to do that and find out more about them.
Okay, I also attended a gala at Neighborhood House, so it's known now as the Wellstone Center, and it was held in the gym at Neighborhood House. It was amazing the people that came. You know, the Neighborhood House is, I'm pretty sure it's the first settlement house in Minnesota from the settlement house movements. And I grew up in New York City with the settlement houses in poor neighborhoods. And just the people that come, they're multi-generational from all over. But in any event, they raised just that night $500,000. And they are now, they're $500,000 away from raising $25 million in the past year. But their history and the families, the generations, it was just amazing. Kudos. They got a wonderful executive director, Graciela, who got services from Neighborhood House. So very, very connected to it. The other thing is I attended the Violence Reduction Leadership Group. I want to applaud the St. Paul Police, the Med Transit Police, the Sheriff's Department. It just seems like they're finally coordinated and working to really try and make an impact, especially along University and so forth, in terms of crime reduction. But throughout the system, it felt good. Felt like they finally got coordinated. The other thing is I attended the Leuna Infrastructure Summit, that is the laborers, their union. Attended a workshop on environment, recycling and so forth. I was amazed at how large that group was. Your former colleagues, Sieben was there. She was a host, doing a panel. So it was good, and kudos to them. And then I spoke at the Ramsey County Correctional Facility. I had a captured audience that really applauded. No, it was really a great time. Nadia was there, and so was Gloria, to make sure I stayed out of trouble. And it was really fun. I enjoyed it. You know what? I was impressed with the residents and the decorum, their sociability. I mean, I was just really impressed. I hope that, and it was for Hispanic Cultural Week, so it was really interesting to talk with them. I had a good time. I really enjoyed myself. Okay. We have, after the board meeting, we have a workshop that's going to be chaired by Commissioner McGuire on county program aid and payment in lieu of taxes. Then we have a lunch and learn with the sheriff, and that's going to be chaired by Commissioner McNulty. And then we have a closed meeting this afternoon at 1:30 regarding the sale of vacant property at 3329 Rice Street, and that's going to be chaired by myself. Okay, Jason, did I cover the bases? Yep. We are adjourned.